Hey my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lara. Welcome to my fashion and lifestyle channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how I'm preparing to go into the hospital for my total hysterectomy. For those of you that don't know, I'm 45 years old. I'm having a total hysterectomy where they will be removing my uterus, cervix, tubes, and I'll be keeping my ovaries so that I don't go into menopause. The reason I'm having this surgery is because I have been suffering from fibroids for the last 15 years, which has caused me a lot of heavy bleeding, anemia, and generally just affected the quality of my life. So at this stage, I'm not planning to have any children, so I've decided to just go ahead and have hysterectomy. What I'm going to be having is an open myomectomy, which is abdominal surgery. So they're going to be cutting me like a C-section cut and go in that way and take everything out and then stitch me back up. And I'm going to be on a lot of meds. So yeah, definitely need to be as prepared as possible. These are the few things that I've been doing to prepare for myself to go into the hospital, because the surgery is going to be a 6-week long recovery program. I'm a single mom, so I do live on my own, and there's just certain things that I'm trying to put into place so it makes it very easy for me to just come home and make sure that I have things in place. So firstly, let's talk about how I'm preparing mentally and emotionally. I've definitely done quite a lot of research, spoken to a lot of medical professionals. I'm lucky that I come from a family that have quite a good medical background. So I've been able to speak to mum, who's a nurse, and my brother, who is also a nurse. And my mum also is a person who has in the past had a hysterectomy. So I'm able to kind of just talk to her. I've also been lucky that I'm able to speak to other women who have gone through procedure, and just doing general research on YouTube. What I have definitely tried to do is avoid watching videos of people who have had bad experiences, because I don't really think that it's a good idea for you to be watching videos about people who've had bad experiences when you're going to have, you know, such a serious invasive surgery. I've definitely done a list of pros and cons of having this surgery, and the pros are definitely superiorly outweighing the cons. As I said, I'm suffering from heavy bleeding, tiredness, very low iron, fatigue all the time, confusion. I'm also anemic, so there's a lot of things that, you know, I'm hoping will change. I am a parent of a child who has autism. He's a teenager, which is great. So luckily he is able to do a few things by himself. I just need to prompt him quite a lot to get things done. So initially I was thinking that I was going to stay at my mum's, but I decided not to do that because I feel like I will definitely get a lot better in my own space. And I live in an apartment, so everything is in one floor rather than, you know, where staying with my parents. They live across several floors, so I have to go to the basement to go into the kitchen. Living room is downstairs, so I will be climbing up and down a lot of stairs, and I just wanted to make it as simple for myself as possible, so I'm going to stay at home. So here are a few things that I've done to kind of physically prep my home for surgery. So first of all, we're experiencing a heat wave in the UK, and this is usually the season where I swap out my winter clothes and change it for my summer clothes, and I'm obsessed with summer. I love summer. So what I've done is just go through all my storage boxes and brought out all my summer items, put away all my winter clothes, because I won't be able to lift anything heavy when I come out of the hospital, and I really don't want to have to do that task when I come out of the hospital because it's a very big task. So that's one of the first things I've done. I'm going to insert some clips of me doing that because I love summer and I love summer clothing. So I've done that. Next thing I did was cleaned as much as possible, decluttered everything I need to do. I usually sell a lot of my items on Vinted, so I've put a pause on my Vinted store. So definitely do that because I won't be able to post anything out for the next 6 weeks anyway. Just made sure that I've put things that I need within reach so that I can just reach across for them rather than having to reach up or, you know, bend down, because I'm not allowed to like bend down and lift things off the floor. So I usually do an online shop anyway. I pick up a few bits here and there during the week, but ultimately I do a majority of my shop online. So I had shopping delivered. I made sure I had enough food, protein, carbs, vegetables, and then I did a mini meal prep to last me for like 2 weeks. And I did look at, from my research, I could see that I was not likely that I wanted to eat anything heavy. So I made some soups. I made enough food for my son. I made, you know, just sauces and things that I can just add some pasta to it, add some rice to it, be quick and easy to go. A few snacks. I've also bought a protein shake from Amazon. I'll insert that here just because I think when I wake up from the surgery, I'm going to want things really light, like a protein shake, soup, very light things. So those are the things that I've prepped to make sure that I have at home. So in terms of my hospital bag, there are a few things that the hospital will definitely give you a list of suggested things that you should bring with you to the hospital. So a few things they told me to bring to the hospital is to make sure I've got a toiletry bag. So what I've done is I have this little toiletry bag, which I got from Amazon. I usually take it with me on holiday. So I just put a few of my minis. Luckily, I get a lot of like mini products and stuff from brands. So I just put a little shampoo, toothbrush, face wash, cleanser and things like that to make sure that when I wake up from my surgery or the next day, I can wash and cleanse my skin, and my toothbrush and things, obviously. They also asked me to bring some pads, sanitary towels, so I've packed that into my bag. Also, a box of tissues they asked me to bring, and some baby wipes. I've packed with me a night dress, so some just things that I can pull over my head. I've made sure that I've gone about 1 or 2 sizes so they're very loose and not like rubbing against my incision area. I also brought myself a pack of underwear. So I went into Marks and Spencer's and I bought the big kind of granny panties, and I tried to size up at least 2 or 3 sizes from my normal size because I figured I would be really, really bloated and I didn't want anything kind of rubbing on my stomach or rubbing on my incision area. So I've got some really big underwear so that I can feel really comfortable. They also asked me to bring a dressing gown and a pair of slippers so that I can walk around the hospital because they're going to try and get me to be as mobile as possible as soon as I come out of the surgery. So a pair of slippers, something that grips the floor so that I can pretty much walk around in the hospital. And also it's a hospital, you want to be as sanitary as possible. So I picked up these pair of slippers. I'll insert it here from Amazon. It's quite a good deal. In terms of my dressing gown, I've got old dressing gowns at home, so I just will pop that in the bag with me. In terms of my bra, nothing digging in that I will feel uncomfortable wearing. For my toiletry bag, I just explained I've taken some lip balm, so a face wash, everything really tiny. I'll insert that here also, and those are the things that I'm taking in with me for my surgery. The other things that I was advised to buy on Amazon was a heating pad. I did some research online and some people mentioned that I would get like shoulder pains or issues with gas because of the medication that I'm going to be given when I'm in the hospital. So I was advised to get a heating pad. So I picked this heating pad up from Amazon. It's a toweling material and then inside it's got these different heating components. So you can wrap it around your front, wrap it around your back and you just control it here. I think it was about £19, so I'll definitely link that. A few people also mentioned getting something for once you have your surgery, if you need to keep some support on your back and your stomach. I was advised not to bring anything precious to me because you don't have any lockable cupboards and things. Okay, so I was also advised to bring something to keep me entertained in the hospital. I don't think they're going to have any TV, guys. So I was asked not to bring anything valuable, so like a book or a magazine. So I'm not taking any books or magazines because everything's on my phone anyway. So I have my Kindles on my phone, my Audible is on my phone, my apps are on my phone. So I usually just kind of tend to listen to an audiobook anyway or read my Kindle on my phone. So I'm going to just use that as entertainment in between if I'm bored. I've just basically downloaded a lot of my favorite books. So other things I've taken to the hospital is my medications. I've got to take all the medications that I'm currently on. So I've taken all my medication in their original box that they would prescribe to me so that they can have a look at it before I go into surgery. And in the morning, I'm only allowed to take the medications that were actually prescribed to me. So any other like vitamins that I take multivitamin, vitamin D and all that stuff, I will have to take on actually for 2 weeks before my surgery. And that's it really. So guys, that's everything that I'm going to be taking with me to the hospital. I'm also taking my lovely Stanley cup with me, so I make sure I stay hydrated. Okay, so that's everything I'm planning to take with me to the hospital for my surgery. If you have any tips, definitely leave it in my comment section. I will be making a post-surgery video. As I said, I'm not sure if I'm going to be taking my camera into the hospital with me because my brain just does not function like that. When I'm in the moment of doing things, I can't do more than one thing at once. So I'm just going to be in the hospital, concentrate on my surgery, and then I will come back and chat to you about what happened post surgery. All right, guys, so definitely make sure you like, subscribe to my channel, follow me along for my journey. If you're going to be having surgery or you've already had surgery, let me know how your experience is or what you're expecting. Okay, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye.